Hello everyone, welcome back to Resident Evil, Jill's story, and we are continuing on with the first part of the mansion. I'm calling it the first part of the mansion because we are visiting the mansion for now, and then we come back to the mansion later on in the game, which means that we'll be exploring an area outside the mansion. That is, if you haven't watched the Chris Let's Play, which is available in the Resident Evil playlist as I am recording this video. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this zombie with the handgun bullets. And just because I didn't show you guys this room in Chris Let's Play, I'd figure I'd show it off here. That's the room that you that's the room that you can unlock. That's the door that you can unlock after you complete the game once and you unlock the special key. The special key unlocks that door, which leads into a closet room that allows you to change your costume or your uniform. But you won't see that. I might make a few extra videos. I might have extra videos for this game at some point in the future, but as for right now, you won't see them anytime soon. So once I'm done with Resident Evil, then I will be moving on to the original version of Resident Evil 2. And hopefully I can finish that game before Resident Evil Remake comes out, which I am really excited for. The reason why I wanted to play Resident Evil 2 before Resident Evil 2 Remake comes out is because I feel like once the remake comes out, the original game is going to be very obsolete. So I still want to dedicate the original game's importance. That zombie went down actually, like, really fast. And, I mean, it didn't even take any... That only took, what was it, 3 or 4 bullets. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this door so I can get rid of the armor key. So yes, unfortunately you won't see the Jill sandwich cutscene in this Let's Play. If I don't upload any extras, then I will upload a video of the Jill sandwich cutscene. But I figured it wasn't really worth showing off because so many other people have already shown off the Jill sandwich cutscene on YouTube. I mean, it's everywhere. Where was I going? I should also apologize for not uploading any videos. For one thing, I haven't been getting enough sleep, and I have been working for the past 5 days, or at least as I'm recording this, I just got finished working 5 days in a row. So I wasn't able to record any videos in the span of 5 days. Even though I certainly wanted to. Because I really need to hurry up and get this out. I should have been done with this weeks ago. So now we're gonna go fight Yon. Well, at least not yet. We're going to be fighting Yon soon. But first, we're gonna go check on Richard to see if he's still alive.
Richard, what happened?
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a
Oh
huge
my gosh.
snake, and also poisonous. Ugh.
Poisonous? Oh no. Richard, hold on.
There is serum. Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness, this is this is hilarious. Even though it definitely should not be hilarious. It just is. Wow. Terrible demons. So, with Jill, you're going to automatically run into Richard, or you're going to encounter Richard while he's still alive. Chris has one or two instances where he will encounter Richard at, I mean, it's a little bit, okay. With Chris, there's two instances in how you encounter Richard, whether you see him dead or you find him alive. And that depends on if you go into this room, which is where you will find Rebecca. If you go into this room and find Rebecca here first, then Richard will die. But if you skip this room and somehow get to the room where Richard is laying and get into the hallway where you will find Richard, Rebecca will be there, but Richard will also be alive. But you rarely ever get to see that happen because normally you will just go into the save room and you will and you will find Rebecca there, because that's normally how you will play the game as Chris. But in the case of Jill, there's no alternative way to get past the Richard cutscene. You're going to encounter Richard alive before he dies, which he's going to die even after I give him the serum.
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on. I'll give you a shot now.
Jill, Here's my radio. You should keep it. I'm...
No! Richard!
Jill, be careful.
So there's really no telling if Richard died before you gave him the serum, or if Richard dies before the serum kicks in, even after you give him the shot. Because there's no indication of if Jill gave him a shot or not. Okay, so now it is time to avoid yawn. I failed to avoid yawn in the Chris story, and I ended up getting bit. So now I'm going to see if I can get past this section without getting bit. I'm going to use the same method that I used in Chris story, and hopefully it will work out. The fact that there's a specific way that you have to do this is just obvious indication on how piss poorly programmed Yawn is. Because I really shouldn't have to go through what I just went through to dodge this big fat polygonal freaking snake. If you do get bit, Barry will actually come around and take Jill to the resting room, the save room, and give Jill the serum. But Jill will end up back in the save room, and yeah, you're just gonna have to find your way back to where you started. At least the game doesn't end. That would suck. So that's kind of like, unlike Chris' story, where Rebecca actually goes to get the serum and brings it back to Chris. Once again, very simple puzzle. As if there's no thought put into this whatsoever. There's no reason to why you shouldn't figure this out right when you first see it. But yeah, I'm very glad I didn't get bitten by Yawn. That would have ended my run, my take, because whenever I attempt to record this game, it always ends with Yawn. But that's specifically with the original game. Now, originally I was planning to just play Resident Evil Remake. Well, I probably said this in my Chris playthrough already, but just in case I didn't say it, I'll say it again. I was planning on playing Resident Evil Remake and not this game because at the time I didn't even own this game. I also didn't even know that this ROM hack existed, which is not perfect. I just wish that Capcom didn't make this stupid mistake of forgetting to add the uncensored cinematics. because if you ask me, there was really no point in censoring the cinematics in the first place to begin with. So yeah, that should have never happened. And I don't know why they decided to change the soundtrack. Well, they didn't change the soundtrack, they just completely replaced it. And honestly, I really enjoy the original soundtrack. Not to mention that the remake completely remakes the original game's soundtrack from scratch, making it all the more pointless that they replaced it with something else. Yeah, I know I've said this before in a different video, but honestly, I just really wanted to, I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my take. So now that we have all the medals collected... Wait, did that even come out right? Not scripted. The Ridiculous Case of Unscripted Videos by CD Hot the Classic Pro. Never said that I was good at talking. But yeah, Jill's story is way too easy, if you ask me. You get a lot of ammunition options. By the time I finish this game as Jill, I have a lot of ammunition left. Ammunition that I don't even need. Ammunition that I didn't have to rely on. That's how easy Jill's Let's Play is. For the record, I didn't... There were instances where I could have relied on ammunition had I explored the game a bit more and experimented with certain weapons and weapon types. Well, not weapon types, but bazooka ammunition types. So once again, make sure you push the staircase. Thanks to this very awkward camera angle, I wasn't able to see where I could fit through the staircase. In case you're wondering if there's anything else up there, there isn't, which is why I didn't bother collecting it, because it is not there. Now, whenever you shoot, or attempt to shoot, or don't shoot the dogs at all, the very frame that you shoot, you aggravate the dogs.
This is Brad. S.T.A.R.S Alpha Team. Please respond. What the hell? Is nobody out there?
Brad, this is Jill.
She sounds like she's whispering. No wonder he can't hear you. Yep, chalk it up to bad voice acting because, I mean, instead of making it seem like the radio is actually broken, she was talking too low and made it look like he couldn't hear her because she was talking too low. Yeah, this ROM hack is definitely not perfect. Why is the aspect ratio like this whenever it shows the CGI? I don't understand that. The actual game doesn't do that, so I don't understand it. Very easy to dodge these snakes, just keep running. I mean, all the times I've played this game, I've never gotten bitten by them. Those snakes have never bitten me. If you look very closely, there's one less dog than usual. There are only 2 dogs in each section, unlike Chris, where there are 3 dogs in each section. So there's 3 less dogs to deal with this time around. Anyway, that's the end of that. That's the end of part 2. See you all in part 3.